Hey, big story from Rolling Stone magazine. Rolling Stone ain't what it used to be. Exclusive January 6th protest organizers say they participated in dozens of planning meetings with members of Congress and White House staff. Ooh. It sounds like, wait a second, were they planning the insurrection, the storming of the Capitol? These members are named, but the story looks like it's a great big heap of fake news and all kinds of little deceptive tricks in here. Two of the members mentioned in the story join us right now. We have with us Congressman Andy Biggs, Republican of Arizona, and Congressman Madison Cawthorn, Republican of North Carolina. Gentlemen, welcome. First of all, you guys doing okay?
Yeah, great. Great, thanks.
Everything's going great, Greg.
You bet. Thanks for being here. Congressman Biggs, first to you. Again, the story, I think they want people to believe at first glance, and very few people actually read anything beyond the headline, that you are all involved with planning the storming of the Capitol. They hint at certain things like that, but they actually don't even say it themselves, but that's the perception. What do you want to say, Congressman Biggs, about this story?
Well, first of all, it is, as you say, fake news. And it's gotten really bad when fake news outlets like CNN and WAPO actually go and say, oh, let's rely on Rolling Stone. You know, those guys that got the Duke lacrosse story so well that they paid millions of dollars out both to the fraternity and to a dean at UVA. So this is a not credible story and a non-credible publication. And if I were to get really accurate, I would say that this is probably not worth putting down for your parakeet's cage. I mean, that's how bad this is.
I gotcha. By the way, look, it is legal and totally fine to talk to the White House about political rallies. And there was a big one at the Ellipse. There was no violence. The president called for a peaceful march. But Congressman Cawthorn, did you have any meetings about activities on January 6th?
You know what? That's absolutely ludicrous, whatever they're trying to imply here. And, Greg, let's be incredibly clear about what this January 6th commission is. It is Donald Trump's third impeachment. They realize they can't go after him because he's not in office, so they are attacking the people who are the most problematic to their socialist cause. And, Congressman Biggs, I'm sure you'll remember during the Russia hoax before I came into office, the FBI would actually plant dozens of false stories to use as the basis to get a legal subpoena against Americans to spy on them. This is exactly what's going on here. No one should give this any merit. This is what always happens when they have anonymous sources. It's because these people don't actually want to be held to what their words are because they're not true.
Third impeachment, I like that. But again, I just want to make sure that it is legal and okay to talk about the election. You know, we talked about January 6th, the Electoral Count Act of 1887, the certification, the objections. It is legal, and I feel like they're trying to fool people with this story to make people think that those activities are not. We all know breaking windows and rioting is against the law, but having meetings about an election is not. Congressman Biggs.
You're exactly right. This is called the First Amendment. People can get together and talk about things. They can even protest, by the way. They can rally. They can file permits to create a rally. And in this instance, in this particular article, they conflate rally and protest with rioting and criminal behavior when there's no evidence to that at all, and it just didn't happen. So when we start talking about this, Greg, we're talking about this innuendo that they're trying to convict people of. And the simple matter is this. There was a rally held that day, and somebody organized it. It wasn't me, but somebody organized that rally, and they were entitled to organize that rally. And if you remember in that article that somebody says, oh, yes, these people were really ticked off. Well, you know, people don't typically show up at a protest rally unless they're upset about something. They might be upset on the pro-life issue or gun rights or anything else. This is just a hack job by hack reporters and a hack periodical.
Yeah, and you're right about UVA and all that stuff, and you're right. Yeah, people, that's a great point, Congressman Biggs. Hey, got to ask you both, actually, and Madison, first to you, Congressman Cawthorn. These two cops, actually, there are several of them, one from the Metropolitan Police Department, one from the Capitol Police Department, walking around with major league attitude, throwing shade at you guys. I'm talking about Dunn and Fanone. I think we have a picture of them somewhere. These guys have been making a lot of partisan statements. They've been criticizing Republicans. Oh, by the way, they're armed. They're walking around Capitol Hill, borderline harassing lawmakers. I'm sure they're good cops, but they shouldn't be lobbyists. And I got a big problem with that. Congressman Cawthorn, how do you feel?
You know what? I've never heard these people's names before. There's probably big keyboard warriors on Twitter, but they've never shown up to my face, and that's probably because they're just cowards. People who are trying to just walk around with big league attitudes. If these guys are actually police officers, then I appreciate what they do to secure our actual society and our democracy and what they do to keep people safe. But if you're trying to come here and intimidate members of Congress, you've got another thing coming.
Congressman Biggs, have you encountered either of them or any of the other cops? Again, I like cops and they're doing their job, but when they start making political statements, stand back. You know, it doesn't mean we don't support the blue in total. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the reality is I understand that they might have a beef or something with somebody, but they probably have some bad information. They probably took it from Rolling Stone or something, but they should not be out trying to intimidate members of Congress, certainly. And, you know, I don't know if I've encountered them. I mean, they didn't look familiar to me from that picture. So, and I don't remember the names either. So, you know, I hope that they can get over it, get it going back in doing their job without worrying about it. I mean, we're not worried about it. We're grateful for their protection, for their service, but doggone it, they shouldn't be trying to roust members of Congress and trying to basically intimidate people.
AOC, your colleague Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez saying that you guys, well, anybody mentioned in this story, here's her statement. Any member of Congress who helped plot a terrorist attack on our nation's capital must be expelled. Obviously, that's not you. I don't think that's anybody in Congress actually plotting a terrorist attack. But AOC and the left, they really do want to milk this, don't they, Congressman Cawthorn?
You're absolutely correct. And if they want to talk about people who were stoking the fire, let's talk about this summer of love we went through in 2020 when you had all of the members of the squad that AOC leads espousing support for these people who were burning down every single city in America, causing billions of dollars worth of damage. It was a disgusting violation of law. It was a time when people were literally terrified to go out in the streets. That's why you see so many downtown metropolitan areas are completely empty and devoid of life because of the actual protests that they encouraged.
We appreciate it so much. We got to go. Madison Cawthorn, Republican of North Carolina, and Congressman Biggs of Arizona. We thank you both. To be continued. Be right back.